Namaskar kids. I am your friend Partho Ghosh from the Vedic IQ to take you to the world of wonderful tales of Panchatantra. In the last video, we explored the story of a foolish turtle who ignored the warnings of his friends, the swans, and met a tragic end due to his talkativeness. What lesson did we learn from his sad fate? Was it A. Don't fly if you cannot? B. Stay silent when required and pay attention to good advices? Or C. Don't trust your friends and never listen to them? Children, the correct answer is B. Kambugriv the turtle demonstrated the perils of talkativeness. He also ignored the advice of his wise friends, which turned out to be fatal. As we can recall, this story was being told by the female birdie to her husband to tell him the importance of paying attention to good advices. Then she told the story of the three fish, which I am going to tell you today. So in today's story, we meet three fish, Anagat Vidhata, Pratyutpanmati and Yad Bhavishya. Quite difficult names, isn't it? But you know, the names of the three fish are not random. They have meanings in Sanskrit which corresponds to the character sketch of the three fish. And you will understand what I mean when you will get to know the whole story. The name Anagat Vidhata means forethought, someone who forecasts. Pratyutpanmati means someone who is ready-wit and quick to perceive. And Yad Bhavishya means fatalist, one who thinks that events are decided by fate and hence inevitable. Anyway, back to the story. The three fish lived joyfully in a tranquil pond surrounded by lush greenery. Lotuses bloomed on the glassy surface of the pond, and dragonflies buzzed around the water's edges. One quiet evening, the fish overheard a group of fishermen passing by. "This pond brims with water," said one of the fishermen greedily. "Let us return before the dawn when they are sleeping and catch them all," he continued. Upon hearing this, the fish got alarmed. The far-sighted Anagat Vidhata quickly called his two other friends, Pratyutpanmati and Yad Bhavishya. He said, "Friends, we are in grave danger. We must flee under the cover of the night to avoid being trapped." The ready-wit Pratyutpanmati agreed. "You are right, brother. We should not waste any time. We must escape this looming peril." But the fatalist Yad Bhavishya laughed. He said arrogantly, "Ha! I shall never abandon my ancestral home. What is meant to be is meant to be. You cannot alter the fate's plan. I will not give up on my home. If you want to go, you may go. I will stay." The two fish tried their best to convince Yad Bhavishya, but the foolish Yad Bhavishya did not listen to their advice. So in the night, Anagat Vidhata and Pratyutpanmati used the downstream and left the pond. At the sunrise, the fishermen arrived at the pond. They casted their big nets and caught a basket full of fish. And guess what? They also caught Yad Bhavishya. And this is why it is said, forethought and ready-wit thrive, but the fatalist cannot keep alive. We saw how the forethought Anagat Vidhata predicted the danger of staying in the pond. The ready-wit Pratyutpanmati assessed the danger and took a decision accordingly. But the fatalist Yad Bhavishya thought, what is meant to be is meant to be, and met a fatal end. This was the story of the three fish. After listening to the story, the male pheasant said to his wife, "My dear, do you really think I am as stupid as Yad Bhavishya? You have nothing to worry. I will protect you and our eggs." Totally convinced, the female birdie laid her eggs along the seashore. The sea had overheard the pheasant's arrogant words. He decided to teach the boastful bird a lesson. The very next day, while the birds were away finding food, the sea stealthily sneaked up the beach and snatched all the unguarded eggs. When the mother birdie returned, she found her nest torn apart and empty. She cried, "Oh my dear, I warned you not to underestimate the sea. Now I have lost my children and I wish to burn myself in sorrow." The male pheasant insisted, "I am sorry for all that happened. But do not worry, my dear. Wait until you see my power. I will dry up the sea with my beak." The female bird replied, "Dear husband, Your beak can hold just one drop of water. How can you dry up the whole ocean? This is nonsense. If you really want to fight the sea, call our fellow birds to aid you. Seeing her husband confused, she said, Woodpecker and sparrow, with Froggy and Gnat, attacking en masse, laid the elephant flat. And thus she told another story. And kids, in the next video, we will learn this fascinating tale of an elephant and a sparrow. Till then, my dear little ones, stay healthy, wise and curious. Have a nice time. Goodbye. Namaskar.